Cyclone Tam taking aim at New Zealand. The first 30-numbered storm in the Southern Hemisphere has received a name in the form of Tropical Cyclone Tam in the South Pacific today, currently at 23.1 degrees south, 171.7 degrees east as of 11 a.m. Fiji time on April the 16th, with a current wind speed of 60 miles an hour or 95 kilometers an hour as per the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, pressure of 986 or 29.11 inches of mercury also from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, speedily moving to the southeast at 26 miles an hour or 43 kilometers an hour, and remaining at 38 points on our Tropical Cyclone Operations Scale, otherwise known as TCOS, putting this system at a code blue. This is as of 11 a.m. at the time in Suva, Fiji, also the time in Wellington, and 2300 UTC on April the 16th, 2025, or in the case of UTC, April the 15th, 2025. This is a Category 1 on the Australian scale, or a tropical storm on the Saffir-Simpson scale as well, with this system being 419 miles away from Norfolk Island, 469 from Noumea, 595 from Port Vila, 814 from Auckland, and 1120 from Wellington. That's 674 kilometers away from Norfolk Island, 755 from Noumea, 958 from Port Vila, 1310 from Auckland, and 1802 kilometers from Wellington. I repeat this position, 23.1 degrees south, 171.7 degrees east, with the wind fields of the system being rather quite large, 215 nautical miles, would you believe it, in the northern or northeastern quadrant, I should say, and 180 nautical miles in the southeastern quadrant of this system. So, Cyclone Tam will be a short-lived cyclone slowly edging towards New Zealand, but it is not expected to reach the country, instead arriving as an extratropical or possibly frontal system. However, residents need to keep an eye on this system and its potential impacts. We'll get to the primary hazards in just a moment. So this is expected to be a short-lived cyclone slowly edging towards New Zealand, not expected to reach the island as a tropical storm. And once again, you'll see in just a moment what it is expected to be in a couple of days' time. And once again, this thing had quite large wind fields, 215 nautical miles if I am correct in the northeastern quadrant, and 180 in the southeastern quadrant, which is quite large for a storm of this strength. So here's the latest forecast as that we put it as you can see, it turns extratropical before reaching New Zealand. Unfortunately, we could only get enough data for a 3-day forecast here, with quite a high confidence in this track forecast. So once again, it's not expected to do much in terms of tropical damage. As you can see, the primary hazards are rip currents. Once again, just because this cyclone is out to sea does not mean that land areas and human lives are safe. When near the coastline, keep an eye out for signs of a rip current, which can include dark water, a line of foam, or debris in the water moving away from the shoreline. As this storm gets closer to land, whether it remains tropical or not will not matter. This storm may bring flooding to areas, especially the coastline of New Zealand. So the primary hazard, once again, are rip currents. Again, just because this is an out-to-sea storm does not mean that human lives and property is safe. So here's the latest code from the Fiji Meteorological Service. As you can see, they don't expect the system to get much. As of now, it says Category 1, and that is the Australian scale. That is a tropical storm in the Saffir-Simpson scale. Partially that reason is due to the sea surface temperatures basically becoming very hostile for this system, below the 26 degree isotherm needed for development. When it comes to surface plots, again, we couldn't really get that much data. The closest data point, I should say, is from Numia. The next closest being, but you can see those numbers there for yourself, right there. When it comes to the multi-model diagnostics, again, they don't really expect much from this system as well. Part of that reason is, wow, look at that, deep layer shear absolutely through the roof in the next coming days or next coming hours. Sea surface temperatures also drop off a cliff, and relative humidity is also becoming extremely unfavorable for this system. And when it comes to satellite imagery, you can take a look for yourself here, force-13.com/satellite. You can really just tell what a mess. This system really is not expected to strengthen further. It's not expected to remain tropical for very long, and pretty much who knows what happens to this system from here on out. We'll see the imagery source change in just a moment. Once again, if you want to take a look at this imagery for yourself, you can do force-13.com/satellite. This, I believe, is the visible imagery. You can hardly make out what's what here. I mean, I can hardly see where the center of circulation is myself. I absolutely no idea. But once again, this system is relatively speedily headed towards New Zealand. It is expected to slow down, not necessarily stall, in the coming days. Once again, here is the rainbow imagery. Once again, you can hardly really tell what's what. And again, the system is expected to rapidly approach New Zealand, but slow down as it gets there, and not expected to remain tropical for very long, becoming an extratropical system as it does so. However, residents in New Zealand will need to keep an eye out for this system, depending on what it can do. Danger to human lives is still present, human lives and property, I should mention that as well. So please steer clear of the coastline in this coming few days, and stay tuned to Force 13 for more on this system as well. We'll keep you updated.